Good morning. Grown black folks talk, not back out on the climb because I have multiple meetings and it's kind of drippy today, winter. However, I'm sitting in my usual spot with my usual calm background to also say that men who cape for men like Sharon Moore are also tragic distractions. Inevitably, one came into my comments, and I'm not going to spot him out. But the thing that garnered this video was the idea that, first of all, Black women speaking the truth about what's happened to Black women and about the tragedies that happen when Black men have no sexual discipline, won't protect us from bullets. I'm too old to be sowing seeds of division. Sir, I already read y'all back 60 years. I also can read y'all back 160 years. So that if I wanted to, I could talk about this idea that we'll deal with the truth when we get into freedom. The Bible says that evil men suppress the truth in unrighteousness. Since you chose to walk right into that, God Himself calls you an evil man. The idea that Black women should go forward to a freedom where Black men determine when they can tell the truth. See, I've already talked about what Coretta Scott King published. I'm not going to mention 100 years before that, how someone carried on for 28 years and even let his other white woman come into their home and spread across Europe how Anna Douglas was backwards and illiterate. And see, they burned a lot of their correspondence, but see, the woman's sister didn't. Because see, white women and Europeans keep setting these traps for Black men and they keep falling into them. So that at any time Europeans can discredit Africans and say things, which is what happens in back rooms all the time. If I don't say it in a way that allows Black women to be free of it, don't worry. The people who write Project 2025 and support that, who voted for number 47 and therefore his agenda, which is not quite identical but very close to Project 2025, have been talking about this for 10 years. I can remember 5 years ago someone sitting up honestly putting up Robert E. Lee as a paragon of virtue, a man who went out, was faithful to his wife. There is absolutely zero evidence that he ever went to the side, even though she was disabled, partially disabled. How he is a more moral man, having killed, having his orders having been responsible for about 1/6 of the casualties of Civil War. A more moral man and a better hero than Dr. Martin Luther King because what's on those King tapes. I can go back farther than that because they go back farther than that. See, whether or not a Black woman says it or not, the truth is already out there. We're not going to be able to suppress it in unrighteousness. Therefore, sir, you are also a tragic distraction. You do not even understand that, you know, I forget who it was who said it was attributed to various different people that a lie runs around the world before the truth even puts its pants on. Been attributed to multiple people, including Winston Churchill, although I don't think it was him. But that is the case. But here's the problem about that. In the end, since this foolery has now been out here, not 60 years, sir, 160 years because of what Anna Douglas had to suffer. She lost her sons in the Civil War. Well, of course, so did Frederick. But she had to suffer that and being humiliated by her own husband. That news has been out in the New York Times and in books for 26 years. You're late, sir. You're not gonna come over here and tell me I'm too old and my degrees don't matter. Besides, you talking to me, listen. My degree peripherally helped me to do that. But see, that was given to me by the divine masculine. And since you are not God, to say nothing of you will never be my husband, you have nothing to say to stop any of that. You can go buy the book and learn to do what anyone who bought that book on time was able to do. But it doesn't have anything to do with my degrees. Now, listen, you know, putting this stuff out doesn't protect us from bullets and things like that. Well, keeping it quiet doesn't either. I am not the one laying down in adultery and giving grist to the racist mill about Black men. Remember? That's your boy Sherrone. And all I have to say, because tragic distractions are not worth even 10 minutes of my time, we as Black women can be free of having to deal with the foolery. We do not need to march with you in unity to a future in which Black men determine when Black women can talk about, okay, this is what Black men are doing wrong. This is also what they have done to us. Because see, Sherrone Moore did this to his wife, who is a white woman. But the point is, we Black women already know how this goes. Many Black women are expressing how grateful they are that they're not the victims and that we can go on about our business. So, sir, we're going to go on about our business. If you want to cape for men that are adulterers, who the Bible describes as worse than an infidel, because this man took generational wealth out of his family's mouth with his actions, you can do that. What you do not get is extra time and energy over here. In my last written comment to you, I said, this is not up for debate on this channel. This is my last word. You will never be read here again. You can go on and help my algorithm by hitting that dislike button on this video. You can stay here and listen. You may learn something. I don't, but see, in my real life, I don't deal with dishonorable men of any color. I do wonderful things with honorable Black men. So I don't have to be I'm in unity with honorable Black men. I don't deal with dishonorable Black men. So I'm not going to deal with you. You have made yourself with your foolery coming through here with all that, trying to call me. Because, see, here's the other thing I know. Dishonorable Black men are not going to defend me. You came through with all the excuses. You too old, your degrees are worthless, and well, you need to be quiet until we get to freedom. You came with all the usual nonsense. You, sir, are dishonorable and a tragic distraction. You're going to need to run those fingers somewhere else. Like I said, on my channel, there's no debate. Tell your friends, don't come over here with foolery. Ladies, if you find yourself with the need to cape for Black men like this, don't waste your time. I'm pre-blocking folk for 2026. We're not going around again with tragic distractions in 2026. You identify yourself as such, you're out. This is the last conversation I intend to have. I will have the last word on my channel. The rest of y'all who are behaving honorably, men and women. Y'all have a wonderful day. And even you, sir, I have not spotted you out, and people are not going to be able to find you in the comments on the first Sherrone Moore video. But just understand, I don't have to spare you. I could make an example out of you. I could read you and your ilk clear back. But I'm not going to do that because I don't have to. As a tragic distraction, it's not worth my time to do that. You go ahead and consider your ways. Go talk to Black men like yourself about living in righteous unity. And when you do that and you bring forth the fruit of that, then you will find that honorable Black women who are interested in going to a freedom that honors and respects the humanity of all of us will be willing to work with you. Farewell.